Welcome, welcome, welcome to Business Strategies and Tips with Lady L. I am your host, Lady L, and boy, do I have a treat for you. Let me share my screen. I want to introduce to you an awesome leader of the Managed Exchange Group. My guest for today is Brian, the Crypto Shadow Spencer. He is one of our crypto godfathers of the Managed Exchange Group. So far, you have seen our Mr. Trillions, where we're redoing that taping because we want to do a little bit of a different spin for you. We had our Mr. Motivator, Kemp Satchel, and then we had our Velvet Voice, King DB, and we had our King William III. So now we have the man in the middle of the middle, our crypto shadow, Brian A. Spencer. So just to give you a brief introduction of our King Spencer. Brian A. Spencer Sr. is a high-ranking military officer, leader, and mentor, family man, a brother, and a dear friend. I bring to you the crypto shadow of the Managed Exchange Group, Brian A. Spencer Sr. Welcome, Brian, to Business Strategies and Tips. How are you today?
Well, Lady L, I am absolutely fabulous, and I am ready to be on this show with you. I have waited for this task for us to sit down and have a casual conversation.
Yeah. We're gonna give them. We're in the lab. I'm trying to tell you, that's where I have my hat. Because you know, when I wear my hat, that means we're working some things out on this awesome Finish Strong Friday. I hope you had an awesome Fresh Start Monday this week. And then you turned around and you tackled it on Tuesday. And then, okay, you tackled it. Okay, now we're going to work it out on our Wednesdays. And then on Thursday, you say, okay, let me just take a little woosah and just be thankful for what I've been able to accomplish this week so far. So we're at Finish Strong Friday. And then tomorrow, you can take that breathe, that deep breath I tell you to take every Friday or for the weekend, and get ready to assess your week so that you can have a successful Saturday. Look at your wins. Don't look at your lessons, because the world calls them losses, but we call them lessons. Look at your lessons, look at your successes, and get ready to revamp and have that worshipful Sunday so you can come back again and fresh start on Monday. But today, we are going to help you finish strong this Friday. Our crypto shadow. Just want you to give our audience an opportunity to understand, where exactly did the term crypto shadow come from?
Well, Lady L, let me tell you, by nature, believe it or not, I am pretty shy. And me and my brother Craig started off on our financial journey together in 2010. And I was still in the military, so we just was doing, I was just doing little stuff with him. Then we went into the Royal Network and then into Magnet Exchange. Well, if you notice, when y'all first came in, you didn't really see me get up on camera or nothing, because I like staying
Not at all.
Handling the admin stuff and doing what I do by nature.
I could identify with that.
Well, my brother Craig was like, hey man, I need you. So by me coming from out the back, I just coined the term the shadow, and I love crypto. Do you hear me? I absolutely love crypto. So then we just said, hey, you're going to be the crypto shadow because that's what you do. And it took its own being and it took off running, and here we are.
Yes, and here we are indeed. Trust me, I am personally excited about having been connected to the Managed Exchange Group, coming from the Forex side of the financial world. And I've always wanted to learn cryptocurrency. Once I got really comfortable with the Forex side of everything, loved trading, loved being on the charts. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And to just love the excitement of seeing things move the way it moved, and really got a clear understanding of how things go financially. I said, hey, let me use this accounting and finance background for something constructive. So I got introduced to the crypto world through the Magnet Exchange Group. So I do want you to talk about your military rank history, because all of our kings have been high-ranking officers in our armed forces. And I found that so unique because these are highly trained strategists. So it just made sense to bring it from the military sector into the financial sector. And I just want all of you, our listeners, to know that I am not bringing before you any novice. These trained tactical, strategical, military experts is bringing it to the financial space, and we are honored and privileged to have them come. And that's why I was so excited when I went this direction with my show, because it gave me the ability to do what we talk about every day, and that's educating the community about what is about to happen in our financial world, in our country and globally, and how for the first time in real history, it is affecting us what happens globally is affecting us locally here in the States, and what's happening in the States is affecting globally. So it's coming full circle. I'd say that this is what I call the great wealth transfer. You know, us believers who believe in God and the word of God, we've been saying we want the wealth of the wicked that's been laid up for the just. Well, that time is here. It is now. And now it's time for you to get positioned. And when you come to us at magnetexchangegroup.com, we meet every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. on our Zoom call, 924-039-3360. This is where we come and get the strategies. This is where we come and get the insight, the information, so that we can make quality, sound choices and decisions in developing our financial portfolios and bringing about generational wealth preservation for our families. With that being said, sir, tell us a little bit about your military rank history, so everybody knows that an expert is truly at the business strategies and tips table today.
All right, well, I'm gonna get started on this little journey. So in 1989, I joined the military as an E1. My intention was to just join the Army for 4 years, but 4 years turned into 27.
Wow.
I've
heard of double tours, but what's that? A quadruple tour?
Yeah, hey, it got good to me.
I know that's right.
It provided me structure.
Yes.
I'm a person that I like structure, because with structure, you know where things are at.
Yes.
As I progressed through the ranks, I became a drill sergeant. I became a drill sergeant instructor. I was a first sergeant in one of 6 HR companies in the Army. I was the senior drill sergeant leader when there was only 2 drill sergeant schools in the Army.
Wow.
I ran 8th PERSCOM, which is Korea, which was over 25,000 people. And I ended out my tour of duty as a Sergeant Major E9. That's the highest enlisted rank you can achieve in the Army. And my final job, I ran the Human Resources School for the Army. So every installation has an HR, multiple HRs. All those people come through my school to go out to the Army.
That's amazing.
I
think we need that school here now.
Hey, I was blessed and highly favored that I had people. I'm gonna say his name again, my brother King Craig. I had soldiers like him that helped me get to where I was going. And now I kind of look at it as I'm repaying him, because now I'm following him. You have to
Absolutely.
be able to follow before you can lead. I don't care who you are.
Come on. That's that each one, reach one, each one, teach one.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we stand for, among other things, but that's one of the main things that we stand for, because that is so critically important to understand that in order to be a leader, you need to know how to be a good follower. And that's a plug-in for my book. Are you really ready to wash feet? It's a book on leadership, how to serve your servant leader, how to be a servant leader, how to be a servant shepherd, the importance of leadership. You can email me at admin@successbeyondstrategies.com. You can go to and DM me on any of my social media pages. My IG is Success Beyond Strategies. My YouTube channel, Lady Vern. Check it out. Check it out. Send me a word and I will send you a signed, personally autographed book so that you can start your leadership journey. If you are now in a leadership position, understand you reap what you sow. If you are not a good servant, then you're going to end up adapting not so good servants for your company and your business. So if you're still working for another man's company, or another woman's company, serve with excellence, because that's the harvest you want to reap. That as you're opening your business, you want to reap the harvest of having excellent leaders to serve alongside of you in your business. With that being said, let's get to the lab and the meat and potatoes of this. Right. Now, another thing I bring to the table is I bring different levels of people in their business journey. Now, him being a leader in military ranking and now being a servant leader in the Magnet Exchange Group, tell us how the S&F LLC, that business entity that you formulated, give us some background and history of how that began, because it was very interesting from the standpoint of this being a family situation. Elaborate.
So here's how that whole thing unfolded. When I retired in 18, I sat around for 6 months so I could really decompress.
Yes.
Because transferring from the Army to civilian life is two different worlds.
Absolutely.
I mean, two totally different worlds.
Absolutely.
And while I was doing that, my oldest son was a distribution manager at American Express distribution company. And he called me, he's like, Dad, I'm gonna get into this franchise called Jam Pros, janitorial services, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, okay. About 6 months later, he said, he came to the house, he said, Dad, my income from Jam Pro matches my income over here. What should I do? I said, well, guess what, son? That's a no-brainer. You let them go because you're working for them, because you can't grow your business while you working 40 hours a week for this guy over here.
Absolutely.
So he quit his job and he took off. My other two sons owned a window installation business in Florida. Well, my middle son's wife joined the Army. So they moved back here to South Carolina. Well, here in South Carolina, they couldn't get into the in group for the windows.
Yeah.
So we sat and had a conversation. I said, okay, I'll open up another franchise and we'll work it. There, I came up with Spencer and Family because now I own, well, let me relay that back, go back a little bit. So I worked that business for about 6 months until one day I woke up and said, hell, I'm retired.
I know that's right. Man, so when you become unemployable, trying to get back in that arena.
Yes.
Lord have mercy. I have nightmares sometimes about that.
I then took that business and I'm still the owner, but my baby son now runs that business for himself. So now I've got one son that owns his franchise, my baby son has his franchise, and my other son is in South Korea with his spouse. And if he comes back here, he'll probably jump in on either one of those, or we'll get him one for himself too, because it's a family affair.
That's it. We're talking about building generational wealth and
sir.
wealth preservation that will outlive you, that will outlive your kids, that will outlive your grandkids, and will just keep perpetuating. Which brings me into this next question. In this present climate of business and in this present climate of the financial world,
Okay.
what are the 3 suggestions that you would give to business owners and entrepreneurs to navigate through about what is taking place and what is about to take place? Even before this year is out, we're going to be looking for some swift transitions in our financial world that's not only affecting us here in the States, but that's also going to affect globally, because what's happening for the first time in our history, what's happening globally is affecting us here in the States, and what is happening here in the States is affecting globally.
Yes.
Share with us what a lot of what we talk about on our morning shows.
Okay, so the 3 things that I would say before I even get into all this financial for business owners. Number 1, properly set your business up the first time. The first time.
That part.
Your name, your business address, not your home address. You need to get you a business address, LLC, EIN, DUNS number, phone number, email address, not a Yahoo, not a Gmail, not
Right.
I shake it yesterday at whatever, a professional email. Number 2, make sure you get a mentor or a group of like-minded individuals like us at Magnet Exchange Group. Because without those individuals, you can't sharpen your skills. As you navigate through this ever-changing
Yes.
environment, you have to get your skills sharpened daily. And guess what? There's
Yeah,
no
that
better
part.
way. Yeah, there's no better way than somebody that's already been there. And lastly, you have to diversify. You can't just be a business owner. That's fine. Well, what are you going to do with that money that you're making from that business? You're going to take it and put it in the bank and let the bank earn all the money and give you 0.01% or tell you, oh, you can't use your money right now because it's tied up in something else? You have to take your money and put it stocks, options, crypto, real estate. Because guess what? The bank is doing the exact same thing with your money.
Yeah, that
And they're
part.
reaping all the benefits. So those are the 3 things. Now, this environment, girl, let me tell you something.
I know that's right. Come on.
Man, this thing right here, people are walking around blind because COVID has put people in a state of dependency. Guess what? That's what they want us dependent. They're changing the financial system. They're changing the money. They're changing security. They're changing privacy. They are trying
Yes.
to
Oh my
take
gosh.
all that stuff away so that they can be in control. And what's the best way to do it? Change all the money. Nobody knows what's going on because guess what? If JP Morgan, MicroStrategy, Warren Buffett, if all those people are buying cryptocurrency, why will we not? Are we gonna do the same thing we did in the .com era? Oh, computers ain't gonna be around. That's just a fad.
What are we on today, people?
Tell them what we on.
This little device has everything in it.
Yes.
You're carrying everything in your hand. You are carrying and I'm taking it back. You are carrying an encyclopedia that used to take 24 to 30 books to fill, and you had to keep replacing those books because the information kept changing. information changes now in milliseconds.
Milliseconds.
And you have it all in your hand.
Well, isn't that where they're trying to get all-inclusive banking? Because everybody owns a cell phone. Now, guess what?
Everybody.
I don't got to go to the bank.
Not knocking them, because they have a right to be able to be sustainable in this country too. But even people that don't have a home have a cell phone, because there's services out there that can give you free cell phones.
Yes.
That ought to tell you something right there, that regardless of what your business is, if it's to serve the community, and I'm speaking to my tax exempt organizations, or what you guys call nonprofit organizations, those that have been watching my shows, you know, that's not the term I use. You are a tax exempt organization for a reason and a purpose. You have a vision, mission, and purpose to serve the community. So you need to understand the value of what you bring to the community that you say you are housing your business in, and make sure that you are assessing those needs properly and meeting those needs, because everybody, even the Amish, is going to need technology in what's coming up in our world today. Go ahead, King. I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah, let me tell you something. For the first time in history, I want y'all to listen to that. The first time in history, the playing field is somewhat even to financial prosperity. You just have to have the knowledge of where you're going and what to do. You can't depend on get up, go to work, put your money in the bank. I call it the 40, 40, 40. You work 40 hours a week for 40 years to get 40% and a watch. And they tell you, oh, before you leave, train your replacement who's 20 years old, who they're going to have to do the same thing. But guess what?
For no extra money now. You training for free. Let's make that clear.
The owner is still the same after all these bodies flipping. He's still receiving all the benefits, but you done went through 7, 8 workers. See, that's where we have gotten behind. We have been dependent on the system. We have listened to the jargon of, oh, the prison, the pipeline system. No, go to school, go to college, go get a job. Oh, we don't want to hire you. Then you get in trouble. Now we send you to jail forever. We don't have to do that no more. We have
and then they become cheap labor at below minimum wage, where when you see the highways getting grass cut and all of that, that's your prison system at work.
Yeah. So
giving them a trade, teaching them a trade, and then when they get out, they're not positioned to be able to take that trade and make a business for themselves. For those states that have passed the, well, I call it expungement, but they call it something else, where the records are hidden now, so that these people can at least get a job, if not their own business. I applaud those that have done it. I've worked with youth detentions, and I've met young men, and they have gone out, they took that skill, they took that trade, whatever they learned throughout the prison system, and they were given favor because they knew how to conduct themselves, they knew how to handle themselves, they reformed themselves from that old behavior that put them in the prison system, and they are making businesses for themselves. Anybody that's in the tax exempt sector, if that's your passion, please, ma'am, please, sir, help these young men and women out in getting back into the mainstream so that they can become the asset to society that they were designed to be in. Off my soapbox, go ahead.
And I will say, pay attention. Don't pay attention to so much the news. Start doing your own research. But that's why we have the Magnet Exchange Group, because you have a group of individuals that are going to do the research and show you the documentation, not just tell you, oh, this is going on, but I'm going to show you the documentation. So therefore, you can go research it yourself.
Yes.
Because knowledge is power. And once you know and you see all the stuff going on, all the different countries where the
Yes.
system is collapsing, all the prime ministers that are resigning, they're not getting fired. See, that's the difference.
They're
walking
resigning. Away.
They walking away after they have sucked up all the money. They done closed up all these people's banks, and now at the same time telling them, oh, we closed up the bank, but we still need you to make your mortgage paid.
Ooh,
So,
man is China blacking out or what?
What?
They saying, oh, y'all think we gonna pay our mortgage and y'all not gonna give us the shelter we want? We'll see about that. Man, I'm trying to tell you, it ain't no joke.
Hey,
and I'm excited about that because if you don't hear anything that we have to say today, I'm gonna quote one of our kings. Take control of your life. Take control of your finances. Take control of your decision making. Don't stop critically thinking a situation or a circumstance out. Don't lean on powers that be to make decisions for you. Make decisions for yourself. Make financial choices and decisions for yourself. When you get the research, when you get the information to research, do your due diligence. That's one of our key phrases. Do your own homework. Do your own research so that you can understand. Even when I used to work at Verizon and we have our lovely 401k and it was beautiful, but I took it the next step. I didn't just take what they said, well, here's the package, take this. You actually had the power to pick what you wanted to invest in. So I not only looked at the package that they offer, I looked at other things that could have been connected to it, like the communications industry, like the energy, your oil and all the different. And my portfolio grew a lot quicker than other people's because I did my own research. And I took advantage of a gift that was given to me in the form of a 401k at that time. And I did my own investing. I talked to, what was it? It was Fidelity Investments. I talked to my own broker. I asked the questions that I needed to understand so that they could help me make the quality decisions. We do that same thing. Again, we're not financial advisors, but we have access to the resources that you can make the inquiries, that you can make the phone calls, that you can talk to the investing powers that be and get your answers so that you are setting up the right estate planning, that you're setting up the right insurance infrastructures, that you're setting up the right portfolio that, God forbid, whatever happens in the financial sector, you have control. You push your own buttons. You make your own movements on your platforms of what to do with your structure. So it is so critically important, ma'am and sir, that you understand what we're saying to you today. Take control of your own financial portfolio. It's yours. You don't have to be handheld on what to do and making that final decision, but you are responsible for making sure that you're getting correct information. And that's the responsibility that we take here at the Managed Exchange Group, Success Beyond Strategies, all the other business entities that is connected to the Managed Exchange Group umbrella, Mindfulness Creations, like Changing Alliances. We are all collectively here to help you make the quality choices and decisions. Continue, my sir.
So in this ever-changing environment, it is imperative that you not rely on your history, because history is going to leave you in a bad situation. get you some financial advice, because this environment, the things that governments are doing to maintain control is outrageous. And
Yes.
the only way to do it is to be in the system. You can't beat the system by being on the outside, doing the same thing that you did before, because they're changing. The money's getting ready to change, like we discussed.
Yes.
You're getting ready to have social credit score. You know, your cell phone that we were talking about, they're trying to put the app on there for the sickness. So guess what? At any time, just like in China, when they had people raising up against the banks, all they did was change their sickness code from green to red. Now the people got to disperse or go to jail. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's to simply tell you the truth. Stop. They're not CNN, ABC, MSNBC. They're not telling you the truth. They're telling you, think about this. 9 families, 9 families own every single thing that you can touch or consume on this planet, or in the United States, excuse me. 9. Think about that. Everything, your hat, your earrings, your lipstick, my shirt, my shoes,
Everything.
carpet, walls, they own everything. But you have 340 million people in the United States of America. The 9 of families own everything.
Wow.
That's not a good thing. So take control, like Lady L said. Take control of your opportunity for financial freedom, because guess what? You're not going to get another one.
Yeah, I think this will be the last round.
This is
especially for this generation, this conglomerate of generations, because you have your baby boomers, you have your X, your Y, your Gen, your millennials, and when the millennials start really developing a family, whatever that generation is going to be called, you have a plethora of generations collectively together that can span anywhere to almost 100 years, because some of us have grandparents and great grandparents who are living in their 80s, their 90s, and even touching 100 strong. So you have a very wide range of generations that is collectively together, at least 5. And if you do your biblical research, blessings, or, well, Jesus took care of all the curses, but never mind, the negative side of not being blessed rolls over sometime to 4 to 5 generations. So if you are privileged to be in the center or anywhere in this 5 generation realm, you need to understand that the decisions and the choices you make today is going to reflect the next 4 to 5 generations. So I just believe that our remnant is really called in this hour. If you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, you have been called and assigned this assignment to make a difference in your community. Continue to let your voice be heard. Continue to understand the voting system that we have and the laws that are changing, and be proactive. Don't sit back and say, well, ain't nobody to vote for. If you don't understand the entire system, it's not just about the presidential elections. It's about all of your local elections. It's about all your state elections. They've got to coincide. They've got to blend together so that whatever office is being held in the presidency, the majorities have to be held in all the way down the staircase. So if we're looking at Democratic president, then the majority of everything, House, Senate, your local, your state governments need to be Democratic. If your head is Republican, then everything needs to be Republican, so that something can get done that will help all the people. But when you have that battling, that going back and forth, nothing gets accomplished that really should be accomplished. And that's the reason why you need to take charge of your life, your family's life, your family's future. And it begins with establishing the right financial portfolio, the right generational wealth development strategy that you need to go forward to take your family to its next 4 to 5 generations. Well, my crypto shadow, just leave us with one strategy or tip with our audience today as a takeaway for them to ponder, to meditate, to think over, to mull over, to say, I need to make a difference. I need to make a change. I need to connect to magnetexchangegroup.com.
Hey, lady, knowledge. Once you know, then you can execute. What you don't know, you don't know. Knowledge, positioning. See, you can have $1 million, but if you don't know what to do with that $1 million, I guarantee you that you will lose every single dime. Because one thing that I know about money, as you spend it, if you don't replenish it,
you
end up broke.
that.
And at the Magnet Exchange, I can guarantee you that we can show you platforms. We're not financial advisors. We just lead people to water. We don't tell you what to do. We just give you the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Opportunity to make 3%, 6% on your money, as opposed to 0.01% that the bank is paying you while you stick all your money in the bank, because that's what we were trained to do. Yes. Work your job, take all your money and put it in the bank, and we'll keep it safe for you. Well, look around your neighborhood. How many banks are closed, good people? All you gotta do is ride around your neighborhood. Banks are closing.
This is true. You gotta drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes to a bank. That's one of those red flags. That's one of those signals. Listen out for keywords like bank holiday that lasts 7 days.
Yeah.
You know, we understand that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that Monday off. But when you get a message on your phone that says, okay, and this is a Thursday on a 4-day weekend, that any deposits that you make going forward may not be registered until Monday, or whatever transactions you make, you know, in other words, keep up with your balance, because when the dust settles on Monday, so you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you got 5 days that if you don't keep up with your balance, you don't know what you're spending. Now, it may reflect it because there's algorithms that help you reflect it, but you won't see it actually hit your bank and the dust settle on those transactions till Monday. I'm talking what I am experiencing personally, because I've been watching it. I watched it for Memorial Day weekend. I watched it for 4th of July weekend. And these were messages that came on this lovely little device so that I could make quality choices and decisions of how I was spending my money that weekend, and keeping an eye on it to make sure that on Monday, I'm not looking at a series of $35 charges on my bank accounts. What's happening? You are going to have to pay more attention to your bank statements. You're going to have to pay more attention to whether you have it online, going paperless. That's all the more reason why you need to take this handy dandy device and scroll through your banking and make sure that you are staying on top of your investments, making sure that you're staying on top of the things that you are developing in your portfolio. We are told all the time, every day, make sure you are checking your platforms and your portfolios, because the market moves. It doesn't stay still. It moves. It goes up and down and sideways and up a little bit and back down and down a little bit and back up. So when you come into our educational portion at the Magnet Exchange Group, you don't have to be concerned, because you're getting knowledge that you can apply. I like that when you said knowledge. When you know, you can execute. When you don't know, you don't do anything. When you don't know, you don't grow. Plain and simple as that. Oh my gosh. I tell you, ladies and gents, you can find us on the magnetexchangegroup.com. You can find us on our Instagram, Magnet Exchange Group. You can find us on Facebook, Magnet Exchange Group. You can find me, Lady Vern, on Success Beyond Strategies. That's STRATEGZ.com. Let's get your entities legal, up and running, and your infrastructure solid. You can go to my YouTube channel, Lady Vern, LADYVERNE. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And I can guarantee you, every day when Success Beyond Strategy feeds into your YouTube page, it's going to be exactly what you needed to hear on that particular day to help you move your business into the positive, successful, profitable business entity that you have always desired and dreamed of to go. And I appreciate your support. I'm also on Instagram, Success Beyond Strategies. So tune us in, like, subscribe us, make sure that you're hitting all notification buttons, and stay tuned in with us for next Friday, because I'm going to have another king come and share their wisdom with us. Sir, it was such a pleasure. Crypto Shadow, thank you for taking so much time out of your busy schedule, because FYI, these kings work around the clock, weeks and months at a time, to make sure that we are brought the correct information, accurate information, reliable information, that we can do our own research, that we can come up to making quality decisions on our financial portfolio and generational wealth preservation development. So bye-bye for now, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.